The Vocal Chamber. I'm your host, Naima Sahar, and thank you for watching. In episode 5, everyone came back together. It's like a family reunion. And the first comeback since the first launch of our actual first episode. And it seemed like a long time, but I'm happy to be back. And in episode 6, Little Chase and artist Rapido came together and had some really great music and some really great conversations. So if you have not had a chance to check that out, please go back and check it out. That's episode 5 and episode 6. And you can always find us on YouTube and Facebook, E25 Records. All right, so now we're going to move on. I just want to kind of bring it down a little bit because we want to acknowledge and go to an honorable mention. We want to celebrate the life of 2 legendary artists who are no longer with us, but I had to make a mention to these 2 because they were extremely influential in the music of hip hop and R&B. So I want to first start with our pioneer, Little Richard, who was known as a pianist, and for the song Tutti Frutti on Rudy and Good Golly Miss Molly, he was the father of rock and roll. And he will be known as breaking barriers in music, especially for those of color. And he influenced through the music, and it was just a beautiful thing. And we celebrate his legacy. Also, we want to talk about Andre Morelle, celebrating his life. He was the founder of an influential label called Uptown Records, who was responsible for giving Sean Diddy Combs, his first break. So Andre Morelle was also instrumental in the careers of Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, and so many others. He will go down as one of hip hop's signature moguls. So I want to just give condolences to his family, to all the families. I want to give condolences to the families of those who we lost, but we want to also celebrate their iconic staples in music history. So now, just a light to a little bit more, bring things to a little bit more light, and we want to continue showing love and music for soul. We're going to let's get into the Jilly from Philly and my girl, Erykah Badu battle. Now, this happened on Instagram this past week, and oh my goodness, they broke barriers. I'm talking about barriers. It was streamed by Twitter that they streamed about 1 billion streams by just this battle alone. It was insane. I was actually able to witness this battle. It was cool because Erykah Badu, she had a setup. Bruce Lee projected in the background, and Jill Scott's setup was lights and art, and it was just a really good ambiance. And to start off, it was really a good vibe. They both gave homage and they gave appreciation and respect to each other. It was such a sisterly love and music, and they even gave each other shout outs, and it was just like, it wasn't a battle like a dugout battle. It was like a battle for who's going to show the most love. It was so cool. I thought it was so cool. It was just beautiful to watch. We jammed together. It was so many people there making comments. I think even Michelle Obama might have popped in. That was pretty cool. They shouted her out. I like what they both did. They both kind of gave a background synopsis of where they were in their musical career and how the song kind of like panned out as they introduced the song. So it really set the tone, and you just kind of fell into the moment, and it was really beautiful. I loved it. And so the song selection was really great. I'm talking about really great. And it just was like artists supporting artists. So the vibe was there. Everything was love. And I just was like, I was like a little kid, like, yes, this is my jam. And oh, that's my short shot. Like I was just in the moment. So if you felt it and you watched it, you definitely can feel me. Now, if you were there and you witnessed it, that was iconic. But if you weren't, you can always go to YouTube and check it out. They have it recorded there, and you can also still feel the vibe too. So, either way, you'll still be okay. So what I'm getting ready to do right now is we're going to go to a break, and then we're going to come back with another amazing artist. I'm going to introduce you to him in just a minute. Let's take a little break, and I'll see you soon. Bye. girl, Naima Sahar, and we are back getting ready to introduce a really amazing artist. His name is Mario MJ Racadio. How are you, Mario?
Pretty good. Well, thank you for having me. The vocal chamber in the house. I'm currently here in Cali right now. So I really appreciate me being on the show.
Awesome. I'm happy to have you. How are you? How's everything? You looks like you're outside there. What's going on? It looks pretty.
Yes, we've been quarantined for quite some time, over a month. So now I have to get out and get some fresh air. So I live next to the park. So I'm here hanging out here at the park talking to you.
Oh man, I'm jealous right now.
I know you're like 3 hours difference.
I know it's kind of dark out here today. Okay, well, listen, I want to really talk to you about the music, MJ. Tell me a little bit about MJ. What do you want people to know about MJ?
Well, I am independent recording artist. I started doing music since 2004. I got discovered on MySpace, and from then, yes,
Whoa.
that was 2004, and I got popular there, and I got discovered by Club Jumpers. They are actually a duo, and they are Grammy-nominated producers, and they discovered me. They said they want to work with me. I said, you got to be kidding me. I didn't believe it at first. So they produce, all these remixes from big artists like Madonna, Britney Spears, Black Eyed Peas, and so on. And I can't believe it. So after I worked with them, my song went to American Mainstream Club along with Celine Dion, Britney Spears, Jagger, and Paul Van Dyke.
You said, hold on. You said Britney Spears, Celine Dion?
Yes, in one CD, because, this is how it goes. When you have this producer, Grammy-nominated producer, and I was caught off guard because he said, oh, check it out, check your email. And I was included in one CD. Usually this is like a CD that is played all over the globe. Right. So when I saw my name on number 9, this is March of 2008, American Mainstream Club. So all the DJs from around the globe has it.
Oh my goodness. That's a really great opportunity. That is like an opportunity of a life.
It is, my dream is just to make it in the Philippines and to make it here in American mainstream. It's unbelievable. This is before even Bruno Mars.
Wow.
Yes, so I'm very, very thankful with my mentors and coach to be included in this. And up to now, I'm still in cloud 9.
MJ, that's incredible. Tell me a little bit about your influences, because the person who saw you, or they must have seen something in you, were like really excited about your performances, your music, your writing skills, your voice. Tell us a little bit about some of your musical influences, and even what kind of genre of music do you like? Is your songs?
Yeah, I'm more of a pop, R&B, and a little bit of hip hop. So
really.
Yes. And so with my first one, it was pop and a little bit of EDM. So my second international single, called Never Be Like That, it's a bit of hip hop, pop. So it's kind of like you could compare it to a little bit of Justin Timberlake and Neo with my second international single. With the first one was Burning Memory, produced by a Filipino-American composer, I should say Rolando Gaza, and the dance version is Raul de Bling. And now the Club Jumpers did another remix. That's why it went to Mainstream Club America. And I cannot believe it to this date that it was included. It's mind-blowing. So I feel humbled and privileged to be on that group of pop icons, and unbelievable.
Wow. So how did you start off in the U.S.? I know you said you were You started in the Philippines, and then you traveled to the U.S. And I think you said you came to California. I know I've
Yes.
done the homework on you.
Yeah, the thing is,
yeah.
I've been performing when I was a teenager in
Yeah.
our town in the Philippines, a small town. I keep joining a singing contest. Then I've been to a lot of like singing group and all of that. And then when I moved to California '96, I have with my band called Rash Band. So we perform all over church and corporates, birthdays, and all of that celebrations, and then just performing in watering holes all over San Francisco Bay Area. Then moving forward, I moved to Las Vegas and met all the people, studied music business.
Yeah.
Then to cut the story short, I recorded my first ever single, Burning Memory, under my own label, MGR Records. So I hired, so if you know the show called Entourage, it's kind of like that. So I have composers, I have bands, I have manager, I have publicist and choreographer.
So you said that, I know you said that you mentor. Aren't you doing that currently? You said you mentor. Can you talk a little bit about, like, you said you're currently mentoring different artists.
I'm mentoring now, but because, I live in the Philippines on and off. So I help artists to be launched. Like I launched their career. Like usually I am now a public relations practitioner. So meaning to say, I am now a publicist. So I promote up and coming artists. So to be heard, whether it be on television, radio, magazine, or online radio and podcast. So I put out artists there because I've experienced it myself. So I want to help artists out there.
What? Wow, MJ, why don't you tell us 5 tips about how to make it in the music industry?
Number 1, originality. So that's very important. Define who you are as an artist, and find your musical influences. Number 2, working with the right team. So for example, songwriters, composers, mix engineers. So choosing the right songs for you. So your musicality should match your style. So number 3, build yourself a following or audience. So this is no brainer. Social media groups is there. Number 4, hire a promoter or publicist. Like what I told you, I have my own publicist before. That's why I was there. They put me in the headlines, magazines, write-ups after write-ups. It's very, very important. Number 5, marketing. So this is the hardest part, but now it is easier than ever that you can release your music in major digital platforms. So I hope they learn something about this 5 tips, how to make it in the music industry. Like I want to share everyone what I've gone through in the industry, and up to this point, even though I am in hiatus, I've released my EP album of July 2012, and I still help up and coming artists at this point.
And I was just curious to know, as you were sharing your tips, if you could just share a little bit. I know you said you're working on some new music that's on E25, and I just want to hear a little bit about it.
I'm really excited.
You got to perform for us. Come on.
Okay.
Want to hear something?
Okay, I want to give you a sample. I don't want to give it all away. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a sample for this, entitled Paradise.
Okay.
Girl, I love the times we're together. I will cherish you now and forever. Tell me now and I'll take you wherever. And I promise you would never wanna leave. Yeah, it's paradise. I'll take you to the paradise. It's paradise. I'll take you to the paradise. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
Got the light on you. Shine the light on them. Shine the light on them.
Yeah. And I just want to add to that. It's produced by Ivan from New Jersey, and I want to thank my man Jay Ruskitas for hooking this up.
Okay.
I know he's currently watching right now.
We gotta give a shout out to Jay, producer. Yes.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's
it's
really.
more of an
I love
R&B
that
pop,
song.
very catchy. Yes.
Yes, I love that, and I love your voice. Such a beautiful
Thank
voice.
you.
My
You know,
goodness.
I forgot to tell you, I love Michael Jackson. That's why my name, it went to MJ.
Oh, so that's one of your musical influences. Oh, I love I love
Yes.
MJ too. MJ. I love MJ too. MJ.
Yeah.
MJ, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And I'm just super grateful that you were able to take the time out to spend time with us. We are so grateful and we thank you so much for performing. Such a great thing. Thank you so much.
Yes, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for having me in the vocal chamber and all the hosts, Dan, and the other host.
Jake.
Yes, Jake from Down Under. So
Down
I
Under.
want to, yes. And you know what? People can still check out my EP album. They could go to check out SoundClick and just type in Mario Ricardio and all the digital platforms. They can still check it out. And I want to invite everyone to check out my new show entitled Entertainment Vlog Weekly, an EBC online show. And you can subscribe on Ego News on YouTube as well.
Yes, and please don't forget to go get that single coming out on E25 Records pretty soon.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. That is intended for E25 Records.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you once again, MJ.
Thanks, Naima, Sahar, for having me. You're such blessings.
We'll see you soon, MJ. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
See you.
Signing out.
See you. All right. So now we're going to go into Sahar's words of wisdom. I think that's what we talked about last time I was on. So we're going to talk about Sahar's words of wisdom. So to this time that we're here in episode 7, I want to talk about mistakes. I think it's important that you make mistakes. It's actually a good thing when you learn from them. So mistakes are actually really knowledgeable. And I think it's also important. So when you make mistakes and you learn from them, you get new knowledge so that you can be better than you were and you won't make those mistakes again. So mistakes aren't bad as long as you learn from them. So that's my words of wisdom. I think you can kind of get a sense of, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but learning from it and getting some new knowledge is a good thing. All right. So now I'm sorry to say, but I must leave you. And, we're going to get ready for episode 8. I'm excited to hear more about that. And I just wanted to acknowledge and thank you for being here with me once again here on the Vocal Chamber. And before you leave, make sure you add a comment on the bottom there. Yeah, just tell us what you think about the show, how you feel about it. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and on YouTube, E25 Records, hashtag E25 Records, hashtag The Vocal Chamber. And I'm your girl, Naima Sahar. We live in interesting times. Peace.